Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Mariupol, Bucha, Mykolaiv, Kyiv. The cities have been subjected to massive rocket, artillery and airstrikes since the first days of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. At the same time, civilians suffer the most. And that's a war crime.
In fact, the settlement is purposefully destroyed in order not to kill our soldiers, but in order to force them to leave, so that it would not make sense for them to defend the settlement and also to force our soldiers to protect the civilian population.
This is Kharkiv, more precisely its residential district North Saltivka. Russian troops regularly shell it with various weapons. The surviving houses can be counted on the fingers of one hand. The Ukrainian military says the occupier knows what he's doing and is deliberately hitting civilian targets.
When a Russian plane, a fighter jet, haunted the city of Kharkiv, we shot it down and then took the pilot captive. He even turned out to be a lieutenant colonel, deputy commander of the Voronezh Aviation Brigade. When we interrogated him, he said a shocking thing, quote, "We were tasked to destroy you as a nation."
Ukrainians are tortured to death for refusing to cooperate with the Russian occupiers. The whole family of the head of the village of Motizhin was killed because they did not side with Russia. The Attorney General's office already knows who did it. The investigation established that in March 2022, during the occupation, they abducted Olga Sukhenko, the head of the village of Motizhin, her husband and son from their house. In the place of their basing, the invaders tortured them, knocking out information about the armed forces of Ukraine and the territorial defense. Right in front of the mother, they first shot the son in the leg and then shot him in the head. The entire family died from multiple gunshot wounds. The Russian occupiers are cruel not only to the civilian population of Ukraine, they forget about the rules of war on and off the battlefield.
Our doctors in military hospitals save their wounded and afterwards they manage to bomb our medical institutions. How can they do that? For me, this is a complete misunderstanding. This is barbarism.
Russian war crimes are now being investigated not only in the prosecutor general's office. The U.S. State Department announced the creation of a new unit to investigate, document and disclose Russian war crimes. More than 10 EU states have launched their own investigation, including Germany, France, Estonia, Lithuania and Poland. The International Criminal Court in The Hague is investigating globally.
This is a serious international institution which includes a prosecutor's office and judicial chambers, mechanism for servicing sentences and mechanism for compensating victims.
The United Nations has already expelled Russia from the Human Rights Council. Next in line is an exclusion from UNICEF. The corresponding draft law has already been registered in the Verkhovna Rada. In case of a successful vote, it will be submitted to the UN. In the meantime, the Ukrainian military continues to defend its home despite the fact that the enemy is waging a vile war and not following any rules.
My house is gone. I live in Saltivka. It was destroyed in the first days of the war. I will not leave Kharkiv even in the event of an extreme point. No matter what happens to Kharkiv, I will stay here.
Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Mark Safonov, UATV News.